aggressive spirit. That's my experience. Through the element of processing the element of the West, the Wild West. In other words, they're screws. That's the only thing they seem to be good at. Yes! I've just managed to have another dig. So rather than having a heart filled with love, they have a heart filled with hate, or they have a heart filled with the fact that they have everything that takes their fancy. They have the freedom. I'm not against the Wild West and having fun, but at the right time and at the right place. So God has taken that curse and turned the tables around and saying, no, they will be the box that God will put the demons in, as in Ghostbusters. There's something wrong with my neighborhood. And will I have sex on top of their box with a bed on it? No, thank you very much. I don't fancy it. I don't fancy somebody spying on my sex. And that's how I'm mentally abusing them. Had another dig and twist in it. So I don't believe that you have to be a monster to destroy a monster. I just believe that you have to be different, not necessarily difficult. You don't necessarily have to use the energy even to destroy someone that is a social and domestic terrorist, that is inferior to me. As for the Englishmen, they know how the original, and even American men, the original peoples who were in the weak position without the weapons and without politics had genocide committed against them, and how they were enslaved into a camp. So they know, and that's interesting to know what the Englishmen and the American men will leave in the comments of this video. What's the difference between a horse and an ostrich? And I know that somebody has checked ostriches can run faster, can outrun a horse. Definitely. That's another way I can have a dig at them. See, I'm not using an actual knife to stab somebody in the back or betray someone. I'm not using I'm not being repulsed or disgusted by them. I am being disturbed, though. I'm not retaliating. I'm not feeling ammunition on them. But I'm using this video as evidence as to what they do to enforce an atmosphere and a feeling that they're in control of the environment, even my own home. So what goes around should come around. And there it goes. Until the middle of the night. I don't feel enthusiastic or encouraged to go out for a walk, even if I had a dog, when I'm surrounded with no people that don't consider me or my privacy. So now people know how they can attack without actually using weapons that we know are categorized as weapons. We can use spiritual weapons because it is a spiritual warfare, and also prayer. So I'm going to go and open my Bible too, because that will be another initiative. How to destroy the strong man who is robbing and raping my private space. Through their evil sex, they're telling lies and saying that they didn't have sex, which sounded very much as they did. It didn't sound as though she was exercising on her exercising equipment. They also remind me of someone who's having an epilepsy shock. They remind me of someone who has disgusting spots, such as teenagers. They're rebellious and horrible. They seem to be forever. Is it forever young? No, they're not the Peter Pan. They're the living dead zombies. They're not Peter Pan. They're not like Peter Pan, forever young. The living dead zombies. So they have an erection, then they have an eruption, then they have sex, then they boast the fact that they have had sex. I just had sex and it reached the sky. And then they make a lot of noise, and then they say, oh, well, we get the freedom because we're having sex and you don't. Which sounds totally mad. Another way I'm having a spiritual dig at them is I'm being like an Eskimo. I'm ignoring them. Eskimo, igloo, similar to I will ignore you. So it is ethnic cleansing. What they've done, what they've managed to achieve through fascism and socialism. Another way of trying to destroy them is, even though I have rubbish in my home, like actual bins, I'm using something such as eucalyptus oil and other things that I do to clean the bacteria and germs in the air. Well, they don't. So their homes are probably more stinky than mine on their disgusting hormones. But I try not to be disgusted, because God warned me not to be disgusted and jealous of sinners. Don't be jealous of them. That's my good news. That's my gospel. Is that they copy everything I do. They steal what I have, what they don't have. That's why they want to put a camera in the loft, to see what they can steal from me. What they don't have. What I have is a good thing. They don't know what they're talking about. And they won't live long. They're registered to hell. So, I'm going to get on my bus. Is it 6 o'clock in the morning? No. It's now 10, 10:30. The noise has calmed down. So, going to my Bible. So, this is my, is it like a trip? Is it like a trip? No, I wouldn't say it's a trip, but I say it's the Holy Spirit witness, good ghost versus their bad ghost. I feel threatened by them, but I don't feel frightened of them. There's a difference. Because they've done so much damage, I seem to be immune to the pain that they've caused me. So, it's now 50 minutes in my recording. The example of cleaning the temple. Clearing the temple. So this is how Jesus is attacking them. They're doing it for money through capitalism. I have said they exchanged money on tables, sitting in places where people were selling sheep and doves in the actual holy place and holy of holies. And God, through Jesus, had allowed Jesus to have holy anger, overturn their tables. Get out of here, they said. How dare you turn my house into a den of robbers and a market, in other words, prostitution and pimps. So what they have done to attempt to demoralize me is put a secret camera in my loft to watch me when I'm naked. And this is how they threaten me. But should I be afraid of them? Or should they be afraid of me and my God? So I need God to do a miracle. I need to find someone who could help me, because God knows I cannot do this on my own. How long I have suffered on my own because of them. How they have rallied against me, including the second generation, his children and his grandchildren, and even the grandmothers and the grandfathers, which is totally out of order. I'm tempted to feel disgusted, but to close this video, I won't be disgusted, because I know that there is such a thing as holy anger and holy jealousy and holy envy, even for God to tell them that they don't deserve to be happy because they're evil kidnappers. They've done all this for the name of money, to be paid on my suffering. So that is a parasite. That is a bedbug. It's worse than a bedbug. It's the same as a cockroach, and it seems impossible to destroy them. I close my video now. Exactly just under 1 hour against the ferocious beast and white rage. It's like a phantom, I'd say, like a big ghost that's making a lot of noise and banging on the walls and banging on the doors and banging on the window. Poltergeist, that's what you call them. Close this video now. And I appreciate people who are really, really intrigued and interested. For my sake and for God's sake, and as a kind witness, a kind stranger. I'm sure there are some of them out there. That is not a facade for fascism or any other tyrannical, narcissistic, lunatic maniac. I'm sure there's some normal people. There is no such thing, but healthy people out there, healthy-minded, strong-minded. I don't feel strong. I feel like I could sleep and go on a very long vacation. I feel totally exhausted. I don't feel strong. I feel weak and tired of all this. Anyway, they're even saying that if I was going to have a blue jeans dress, this is how mad this is. To close the video, they're even saying if I'm to wear the color blue, or a blue jeans, actually jeans for trousers or dress. If I'm to wear blue, it doesn't suit me because I don't have blue eyes. That's how disgusting things have gotten. But so help me God not to call it disgusting. What can I call it? I'll call it a drugstore. Racism, sexism is the same thing. So that as much as God is racist and sexist against their perverse generation, God does warn the perverse generation through the sign of Jonah. So God is upset. God did cry and say, these are the people that are worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. So I don't plan to close this video to paint and decorate and give my wall a new coat. What's the point when I'm planning to move home anyway? They are fanatical. So they're comparing religion, saying that religious people are fanatical. Well, what about them? What about their religion for their freedom and for their peace? So with being zealous rather than passionate for being a fan. So I'm a fan to God. God, I am a fan to you, my creator of heaven and earth, who I allow to be my healer and my helper before anybody else. And that's how I close my video. I am fanatical in the positive sense. That means I'm a fan. God is a celebrity, actually. God is already famous. God doesn't need anybody. God doesn't need me to make God famous. Or does God need me to make God famous? I think God does, really. in the name of love.